Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, a princess named Evelyn found herself in an unusual predicament.
According to the plot, I was supposed to accidentally drop a golden ball into the well and then have the frog retrieve it for me.
Not too fond of parting with her precious golden ball, Evelyn had a different idea.
But I couldn't bear to part with the golden ball, so I threw a large cow patty into the well instead.
After a long while without seeing the frog, Evelyn grew a bit puzzled.
Where could that frog be?
Peering into the well, she saw an incredibly unattractive frog floating belly up.
What? Is it gone?
You hit it right on the head with that 10-pound cow patty. If it didn't pass away, it would at least be severely injured.
So weak.
As Evelyn turned to leave, the suddenly revived frog bit onto the hem of her dress.
Was it you who threw the cow patty into the well?
Do you really want that cow patty?
If you admit it was you, I'll help you retrieve it. But in return, you have to give me a kiss.
Stay away from me, you disgusting frog.
The knight needs to help you retrieve the cow patty for the encounter task to be completed.
Oh, I see.
Evelyn waved her hand dismissively.
Then go ahead and get it.
The frog was quite efficient, hobbling on 2 legs to retrieve the cow patty. Then it puckered its foul mouth, waiting for a kiss.
Does this count as completing the task?
The encounter task is complete. Host, you can run now.
Oh, I see.
Evelyn kicked the frog back into the well and dashed back. The princess looked up and saw the old king. His long beard and stern expression made her heart race.
What happened? Why are you so flustered?
The system whispered to the princess, urging her to tell the truth.
Host, you need to truthfully tell him about meeting the frog prince to advance the story.
Recalling the fairy tale, the princess knew the king would force her to fulfill her promise if she mentioned the frog.
Watch how I turn the tables.
Just then, the frog rolled over with a 10-pound dung ball, ready to complain.
Come in, Mr. Frog. Please, have a seat.
Turning to the king, she wiped her tears and began to cry.
Father, you must stand up for your daughter.
What's wrong? Tell me everything.
It's it. It stole my dung ball and tried to take advantage of me.
The frog looked bewildered and protested.
I didn't! I didn't! You're lying!
What exactly did you do to my dear daughter?
Respected king, the princess's dung ball fell into the well. We agreed that I would help her retrieve it if she kissed me, but she broke her promise.
The king frowned at the princess, feeling deceived.
If that's true, how could you break your promise?
Father, this frog threatened me. If I didn't kiss it, it would eat my dung ball.
This is a blatant threat, Father. Look, there's still dung residue at the corner of its mouth.
The king, now thoroughly confused, saw the residue and immediately lost his temper.
How dare you threaten my royal daughter? Guards, throw it into the dungeon.
The frog tried to speak, but the princess quickly stuffed its mouth with dung.
Father, look, a talking frog. It must be a monster. Why not give it to me as a toy?
The king, now fully convinced, waved his hand for her to take it away.
Be mindful.
The princess nodded, a sly smile on her face, as she led the frog away. I brought Frog into my room. Seeing me heating oil and preparing the pan, he anxiously confessed his identity.
Honorable princess, in truth, I am a handsome and dashing knight.
Do you even hear yourself?
I raised an eyebrow, looking him up and down with disdain.
If you give me a kiss, I will transform into an incredibly handsome knight. In return, I will marry you. You just need to bear my children, be a nanny, and take care of me.
I've never seen such an ungrateful frog.
I grabbed his lame leg and, taking advantage of his unpreparedness, knocked him out cold. Back in my world, I was at least a half-decent chef.
Decapitate, skin, deb one, all done in one go.
I fried him in the pan until golden brown and took him out, making the guards in my room drool with hunger.
Times have changed. Even a frog is so full of himself now.
Host. You have severely violated the world's rules.
Stop pretending. Want a bite? It's delicious.
Host, you have disrupted the original storyline and will not receive any rewards.
What? No money?
Suddenly, the frog leg in my hand didn't taste as good. I gave up and flirted with a handsome guard nearby.
Hey there, handsome, how about you take care of me?
This is nonsense. Please complete the main task.
Ignoring the system's warnings, I placed a hand on the guard's abs.
Hey, handsome, want to have a passionate romance with this princess?
The system finally reacted and transferred $1 million to my real-world bank account.
Complete the main task, and I'll give you another $2 million. Host, please act normally.
Why didn't you say so earlier? Don't always talk about money, it hurts feelings.
The system rolled its eyes and continued nagging me to find the castle's secret chamber map.
Originally, only the Frog Knight knew where the secret chamber was, but you ate him. Now you have to find the clues yourself.
Tired of listening, I turned to the handsome guard beside me.
Hey, handsome, can I ask you something? Do you know where the secret chamber is?
The guard blushed easily and turned his head away.
Yes.
Host, you are exploiting a world bug. This is serious cheating behavior.
I ignored the system and grabbed the guard's sleeve.
Can you take me there?
But the king ordered that no one is allowed to go to the secret chamber. Especially you, princess.
The relationship between the princess and the king wasn't as good as it seemed. I realized this on the very first day I arrived here.
I need to test you. Let's see if you truly remember the princess.
The king tested me with many things, but I had some memories of the princess from my previous life, which barely managed to dispel his doubts about me.
In my dream, she asked me to go to a secret chamber where she had left a letter for me. Reading it would reveal the truth.
Despite my best efforts, I couldn't sneak into that place and ended up alerting the king instead. I tugged at James's sleeve, pleading.
Brother James, please take me there. At worst, I'll be your first wife.
James couldn't resist when someone acted coy with him. After a moment of hesitation, he agreed.
Your Highness, I'll wait for you at the castle gate at 10 o'clock tonight.
Defying the king's will was a grave offense. His prompt agreement left me momentarily stunned.
Brother James, are you serious?
The moonlight cast a rare softness on his usually stern profile.
For the princess, I am willing to face any danger.
What the heck? Is this even possible?
I gave the system a playful slap, my eyes sparkling with emotion.
You don't understand. This is the...
At 10 o'clock in the evening, I slipped out dressed in black.
Princess, over here.
James stood at the edge of the castle. When he saw me, a faint look of admiration flashed in his eyes.
What's wrong? Are you mesmerized by my beauty?
I always get straight to the point. James was taken aback by my question, his face turning red as he quickly changed the subject.
This way, princess.
To prevent any mishaps, the castle was heavily guarded. Fortunately, James knew many secret passages that others didn't. Following him, I didn't have to think much. After about 20 minutes, I saw a beam of dazzling light at the end.
I see light ahead.
The opening was too small, and I got stuck. James had to use a lot of strength to pull me out.
Almost there, princess.
Once I was free, I looked around and was startled out of my wits. There were life-sized dolls everywhere.
Is it too late to go back now?
Does the princess wish to return?
Damn, I did want to go back. But I still had to find that wretched letter for the unfortunate princess.
No, we continue.
With that thought, I mustered up the courage to take a few steps forward and accidentally knocked over a doll. By sheer coincidence, a letter fell out from the back of the doll. I slowly unfolded the letter.
Dear self, by the time you read this letter, I've already been killed by the king. Remember, the king is not a good person. He massacred my entire family and is a true demon. Do not let him discover the existence of your second soul. He will kill you. I can only be reborn 1,000 times, but each time I have failed. He has turned me into life-size dolls and stored them here. Fortunately, you are here to help me. Next, please help me eliminate the demon.
Reading this, I felt a bit uneasy. But the next line made my scalp tingle.
Do not trust the Frog Knight easily. If you marry him, you will be dragged into hell.
My heart raced as I read the final warning.
Everyone in this castle is a demon. Do not trust anyone in the castle, especially the seemingly honest guards.
Guards? James?
Princess, are you all right?
I clutched James's sleeve tightly, my mind racing with confusion and fear. I hadn't had the chance to dispose of the letter in my hand when James knocked me out cold. When I woke up, I found myself in a room full of cobwebs. James approached me with a sword, his face fierce.
Farewell, princess.
With that, he was about to strike me. I was stunned and quickly made a stop gesture with my hand.
Wait a moment. That's not how you do it.
James looked at me, puzzled, as I took the sword from his hand.
Watch closely. I'll only demonstrate once.
Before he could react, I slashed at his stomach. Then, he ran, and I chased him. James had no chance of escaping.
Pretending in front of me? Not a chance.
When the princess visited me in a dream, we had a little chat. She told me not to trust men, as it would lead to unhappiness.
Tell me your story.
During my 250th reincarnation, I fell in love with a guard named James. He was gentle and courteous. I fell for him at first sight. He said he would take me away from this castle. But on the night we were supposed to leave, he ended my life. He said he only got close to me to complete a task given by the Demon King, and that he never loved me.
The princess grew more and more upset, crying uncontrollably.
You must avenge me.
A scoundrel, and you're crying like this over him? Pathetic.
How can I help you?
Make him fall in love with you, then break his heart.
What kind of ridiculous revenge plan is that? My head itched, as if I was about to develop a love-struck brain.
You mean end his life, right? Consider it done.
From that moment, I searched everywhere for the guard named James, almost to the point of issuing a wanted notice. Who would have thought he was right in my palace? I began to subtly lay traps around him. First, I pretended to be foolish and ate that stinky frog right in front of him, then feigned regret to get closer to him. The night he took me to the secret chamber, I knew he was going to make his move. I pretended to be knocked out by him, but in reality, I was setting a longer trap. Still trying to run? I cornered James with my blade, tears glistening at the corners of his eyes.
Princess, I know I was wrong. Please, princess, spare my life.
The distant, beautiful night light cast shadows on his face, flickering and indistinct. Tell me honestly, what exactly is that old king? A frog, a flea, or something else? Only by knowing what the king truly was could I mimic it and eliminate him, freeing the princess's soul. But after all this time observing, I still couldn't figure out what he was.
The king is a dragon. Please, princess, spare me.
I clenched my jaw. So, he's a mighty dragon, huh? Thanks, you've been very helpful. With that, I swiftly ended James's life with a single blow. The cold wind lifted the hem of my garment, adding a touch of desolation. Here's your reward. I'm very satisfied.
Sirius the first step in the dragon slaying plan by equipment.
Host, the Dragon Slayer sword starts at 200 million.
Angry, do you see any part of me worth 200 million?
Just take it on credit, pay later when you have the money.
Angry, the system grinned obsequiously.
Host, we don't do credit here.
Angry, great. It successfully annoyed me. Just as I was about to argue with it, someone knocked on my door. Surprised, I opened it to find a fair-skinned witch.
Are you the princess?
Curious, who are you?
I'm the witch who lives deep in the forest. I heard you ate the frog knight, is that true?
Serious? Absolutely not. Serious, this witch didn't look like a good person. If I admitted it, what if she used it as an excuse to harm me? No way, I can't admit it. Sad, that's really a pity. I had a gift prepared. Sorry to disturb you, princess. I'll be on my way. Curious, I looked closely at the basket hanging on her arm, shining with gold. Could it be gold? Excited, you guessed right. I did eat the frog. And I added some devil pepper. Can I see your gift? Surprised, the witch's eyes sparkled, and she held my hand tightly. Excited, I knew I found the right person. Princess, you are truly a hero. Curious, supposedly, the frog knight was the witch's trophy. I deep-fried the guy, so the witch should be angry. But why did she look so happy? Curious, I took the basket and saw it was full of golden frogs, all lively and jumping. My eyebrows furrowed so tightly they could crush 10 flies. Confused, this is your gift for a hero? Cheerful, yes. I heard the princess loves to eat them, so I caught a few more. Doesn't the princess like them? Serious, I prefer money over these. Serious, who allowed a broken sword to be so expensive? Serious, the witch seemed to ponder this. Then she transferred 200 million to me out of thin air. Hearing the notification of the transfer, I was stunned. Surprised, she wasn't a witch at all. She was a wealthy lady, right? Excited, rich lady, please take care of me. I don't want to work hard anymore. Terrified princess, I'm really just here to thank you. Serious, the system also quietly reminded me.
Host, please act normal and stay in character.
Serious, but I had no connection with the witch. Why was she thanking me? Serious, princess, to be honest, I am the frog knight's ex. While he was dating me, he was still flirting with other girls. In a fit of anger, I turned him into a frog, but I couldn't harm him directly. Luckily, you have a unique taste, and you helped me fulfill this wish. You are my hero. Cheerful, so I was the exterminator. One I killed, one I ate. I have to say it felt pretty good. But why are there so many love-obsessed people in this fairy tale? Cheerful, great kindness needs no thanks, just money. Cheerful, even better. Another 200 million transferred.
I eagerly snuck into the king's chamber, holding 2 broken dragon knives. Standing before the king, my mind went blank. Oh no, I forgot how to use them.
Damn it, was it supposed to be the head or the backside?
I frantically called out to the system.
Sorry, the system you are trying to reach has crashed.
Damn it, playing dead at a crucial moment? I decided to try both.
Before I could touch the king, his eyes opened.
Daughter, what are you doing in your father's chamber in the middle of the night?
I hurriedly hid my hands behind my back, mumbling.
Wow, if I said I came to eat, would you believe me?
No. What are you holding in your hands?
Damn it, can't hide it anymore. Go for it. Catch him off guard. I slashed at the king's head, no effect. Then I slashed at his backside, still no effect.
Damn, what happened to fair play?
The king, now dizzy from my attacks, stepped forward and grabbed my neck, furious.
Dear daughter, you weren't trying to harm me, were you?
My face turned red and my neck swelled from holding my breath.
If I said I was here to tickle you, would you believe me?
The atmosphere suddenly became awkward.
Dear daughter, don't try any tricks in front of your father. Do you think you can take my life with 2 broken knives?
As he choked me half to death, the system's voice chimed in.
Host, run away. What are you standing there for?
Guess why I didn't run?
Host, stab him in the side with the broken dragon knife.
Damn it, why didn't you say so earlier?
I mustered all my strength, gripped the broken dragon knife tightly, and jabbed it into the king's side. The king started laughing uncontrollably, as if tickled.
Huh, why isn't he dying?
Host, I never said the broken dragon knife could kill the king.
Then what is the broken dragon knife for?
For tickling.
After my fallout with the king, I was thrown into the dungeon, looking rather disheveled. Furious, I gave the system a good beating.
Give me the real weapon that can defeat the king.
The system, teary-eyed, shook its head frantically.
Host, you can't do this.
I raised my fist again, ready to strike.
Host, host. I'll tell you.
The real weapon isn't with me.
So, you've been toying with me all along?
Then where is it?
It's outside the castle, in the hands of a knight named Knight.
So now I have to go out and find him, right?
The system nodded mournfully.
Host, host. I can take you out for free.
No charge.
I smiled.
You better be serious. The free way out you mentioned is for me to dig a dog hole?
The system handed me a shovel, suggesting I dig my way out of the prison.
Yes, yes, this way you can get out, host.
In disbelief, I puffed my cheeks.
You little. Dare you say that again?
The system immediately backed down.
All right, host. I'll dig for you.
2 days later, I finally smelled the long-missed fresh air outside. The system was so exhausted it crashed.
Host, you must find the knight. He has the dragon slayer blade, you must get his help. And, whatever you do, don't.
Before finishing its sentence, it fainted. Such melodramatic scenes are common in TV dramas. But in this vast sea of people, how do I find him?
I decided to fill my stomach first.
I went to the witch's house and managed to get a bowl of noodles. As I was leaving, I brushed past a handsome young man. I suddenly had a hunch that he was the knight. So, I boldly grabbed his collar.
Hey handsome, are you the knight named Knight?
He shook his head. I shrugged and was about to leave when he called out to me from behind.
Actually, I am the knight named Knight. Are you looking for me?
Of course, it's something important. A major issue.
You know the king of this country, that old man called Elder, right?
He nodded earnestly.
I see you're a person of character, strong and healthy. You could have sons in the future. So, do you have the courage to take him down?
The knight was taken aback by my words.
Absolutely not! The king is the son of heaven. How could I possibly harm the king? Are you a spy from another country?
Look at me with your big, innocent eyes. I'm a mature, beautiful young woman. How could I possibly look like a traitor? Speculation can be wild, but don't be absurd.
I'm an angel sent from above, here to save you all. I heard you have a dragon slayer blade that can bring justice to Elder. Do you know what this is? It's a golden opportunity for your ancestors to shine. Think about it, can you afford to miss it?
The knight's gaze softened a bit.
You make a good point. But I only know how to slaughter pigs, not people.
Question mark.
The knight showed me his dragon slayer blade and even used it to butcher a pig.
See, this blade is useless for anything else. But it's perfect for slaughtering pigs.
I furrowed my brows in frustration. I had definitely found the wrong person. I turned to leave, but he grabbed my arm.
Wait a moment. I just reconsidered your proposal and think it might work. If you don't mind, I can join you.
Under the rule of the demon, the commoners lived in constant suffering. Previous uprisings had been brutally suppressed, leaving a pall of despair. In times of chaos, heroes emerge, and the knight was the epitome of such heroes. For the sake of the commoners, he was willing to sacrifice his own life.
Aren't you afraid?
More than my own life, I worry about the well-being of the commoners. This time, whether we live or die, it is all up to destiny.
I scoffed.
Don't be so tense. We're just going to slay a dragon.
You have a lot of scenes. You won't die.
His rather handsome face was illuminated by the misty moonlight, highlighting his slightly prominent nose.
Thank you for your reassurance. But there's one more important thing I need to do. Can you accompany me?
I rolled my eyes impatiently. So young, yet so full of trivial matters. We found ourselves on a dilapidated rooftop.
So, the important thing you mentioned was stargazing?
I sat nonchalantly, feeling like the rooftop might collapse any second. The knight, agile and steady, sat beside me.
Can't we do this after we return?
The knight looked at me deeply, hesitating to speak.
I'm afraid that when we return, I might never see such a beautiful night again.
As if making a firm decision, he grasped my hand tightly.
No matter what happens, I will protect you.
I slowly withdrew my hand, feeling slightly uncomfortable.
I have the heroine's aura. I don't need your protection. You should take care of yourself.
At this moment, the system chimed in, rather untimely.
Host! You are truly impervious to everything. Love is right in front of you.
Love? That's something only fools care about. The next day, we embarked on our mission to slay the dragon. But things didn't go smoothly.
Halt. The knight is too handsome to proceed.
Princess, the king has decreed that no one more handsome than him is allowed here.
You may proceed.
I couldn't help but twitch my lips.
So, does that mean I'm ugly?
As he was being dragged away, the knight looked utterly despondent.
Princess! Don't worry about me! Go on without me!
He had a point. After all, the dragon-slaying blade was in my hands. I swiftly turned and sneaked into the palace. Who would have thought the king would be waiting for me right at the entrance? In the sunlight, his beard looked heavy, and he shimmered with a golden glow.
My dear daughter, it's been a long time. Let your father have a good look at you. Have you lost weight?
Old man, since we've already torn off the pretense, let's not act out this father-daughter drama. I'm here today to end you.
Hearing my words, the king dropped the act.
You think a broken blade and a helper can really kill me? After failing so many times, are you truly not afraid?
Old man, have you ever heard this saying?
What?
Taking advantage of his distraction, I slashed his forehead with the blade. He immediately transformed into his true form, howling in pain, creating a spectacular scene.
Villains always talk too much.
After I struck the demon with the dragon slayer blade, it didn't perish completely and managed to escape. I had aimed incorrectly, failing to deliver a fatal blow.
Host, you should have aimed for his lower back. That's his weak spot.
Thanks for the hindsight.
Hope you remember that when it's your turn.
Enough with the commentary. What's the next task?
Host, you need to rescue the knight. Only with his help can you successfully defeat the dragon.
I searched every corner of the castle and finally found him in the sewers. It took all my strength to pull him out. The first thing he did was check if I was all right.
Princess, are you hurt?
Not for now. But could you let go of me?
I didn't mean anything by it.
It's just that you smell awful, and you're dirtying my clothes. It's a bit off-putting.
The knight looked a bit embarrassed, not knowing where to place his hands. I immediately regretted my harsh words and was about to apologize when the dragon found us. I hadn't even gripped my sword properly before the dragon knocked me to the ground.
Hey, old man, could you show some manners? Can't you see I'm not ready?
The dragon laughed maniacally and continued to target me relentlessly. Every time I tried to get up, it knocked me down again, over and over.
Here, you take it. Finish him off.
The knight had been practicing martial arts for years, and his agility was truly remarkable. Even when the dragon knocked him down, his movements were fluid and graceful.
I can't rely on him alone. We need to work together. In a moment, I'll lure it over there, and you stab it with this knife. Got it?
The knight nodded firmly. Seizing the right moment, the princess stood up and grabbed the dragon's front leg. It slipped and fell.
Now, do it!
The knight hesitated, fumbling with the knife.
What are you waiting for? Do it now.
Princess,
Stop dawdling. Hurry up. I can't hold on much longer.
Hearing this, the knight aimed a fierce blow at the dragon.
Ha! You missed the weak spot.
I told you to stab its weak spot, not its side.
I can't really tell the difference between the weak spot and the side.
Just as the princess was about to scold him, the dragon became enraged. With its massive front paw, it grabbed her and flew up to the castle, preparing to drop her.
What a pity. This time, you'll still meet your end by my hand. Just like before, I'll lock you in your favorite chamber, where you'll never see the light of day again. You'll disappear from this world forever.
The wind at this height was so fierce that the princess shivered uncontrollably. For the first time, she felt the closeness of death. Even the whispers of the demon in her ear were gradually blown away, breaking into unrecognizable sounds.
The knight wouldn't come to save me, would he? He had no wings, no magic, just an ordinary person who couldn't even tell the difference between a weak spot and a side.
Fine, let it be. At worst, she would start over. She was ready to face a heroic end. But then, the knight actually grew a pair of wings and flew to her side.
Princess, don't be afraid. I'm here to save you.
His deep, handsome eyes, illuminated by the faint light, added a touch of softness to the serious atmosphere.
This is ridiculous. Why do you have wings and I don't?
The knight's mouth twitched. Was this really the time to discuss this?
The story is nearing its end. Please prepare for the conclusion. Maintain your...
When the knight vanquished the dragon like an angel, I understood.
The dragon is no more. You're safe now.
He was the true protagonist of this story, and I was merely a dispensable supporting character.
Let's get you out of here and free the princess's soul.
The sky outside the castle, once shrouded in dark clouds, suddenly cleared. It was as if the dragon had never ruled this world, just as I had never been here. Everything seemed to go too smoothly.
With the dragon gone, the kingdom will thrive again.
The knight became the new king and governed the country well, allowing the commoners to live in peace and prosperity.
I have made you the queen. Together, we will rule this land.
But I didn't behave. I ended up keeping over 20 handsome guards.
Can't you be devoted to just me?
I told you long ago, love, only fools want it.
Upon hearing this, something in his eyes dimmed suddenly. I knew he was angry with me.
Why can't you see? This world could be ours.
Because I never truly belonged here. I would have to leave eventually.
Epilogue 1.
Sad as I was preparing to leave, the knight, with his recently acquired white hair from worrying, came to bid me farewell. Hopeful, can you stay with me? Serious, I looked at him quietly, knowing he wouldn't understand everything I had told him. I wasn't a princess, just a simple office worker who struggled in the kitchen and faced daily scoldings from my boss. Sirius Knight, I've always thought your name was quite interesting, but I don't like it. It's too storybook-like. Curious, do you know my name? Sirius, my name is Emily, and you're the Knight. Our names are worlds apart, aren't they? Actually, we are from completely different worlds. Just consider my words as nonsense. This is the last time. Sad, I then turned my gaze to the princess who looked exactly like me, noble in appearance with an outstanding aura. Sirius, hello, Your Highness. From now on, you should be able to live well in this world, right? Shouldn't you thank me for clearing so many troubles for you? All the money went to buying you equipment. I didn't take a single penny. Sad, so, did I gain or lose?
2.
Sirius, when I first arrived, the former princess had warned me. Sirius, you are occupying my body. You will have to return it to me eventually. Sirius, at that moment, I knew this world did not belong to me. All the emotions and connections I made here, whether familial, friendly, or romantic, were separate from me. Sirius, even the system in my mind was a manifestation of the former princess's will. When I went out to find the dragon-slaying blade, I understood her unfinished words. Sirius never developed feelings for him, or for this world. Otherwise, everything would become very complicated. Sad, at the moment the story ended, I admitted that I had developed feelings. The system reminded me to stay in character. This identity was not mine, and the Knight did not truly love me. Sad, it's as if this world and I are completely out of sync. Sad, after Emily left, she left me a letter. She said she was not from this world and could not be with me. Every time I tried to get close to her, she always pushed me away and ignored me. Confused, I didn't understand. Clearly, she was still here, and I was here too. Why couldn't we be together? Sirius, later, I understood. She had a mission in this world, and I was just a part of it. Sad, when she left, I didn't stop her. She had her own choices, and I had my own convictions. Sad, but I never told her. Actually, we came from the same world.